Another one of the things that's an obstacle for us is we got too many plans, y'all. We got too many things we trying to accomplish at one time. The beauty of living in the moment is you plan, put your plans down, but guess what? You're only attacking each plan in the moment. Family, what's up? Welcome to the Bacon Bits Podcast, where we desire for you to take the bits of information and immediately, don't delay, don't overthink it, don't worry about it. Just apply the information to your life for success. The ground rules for our podcast is that it will always be encouraging, uplifting, and informative. The areas of life that we will be talking about on the Bacon Bits Podcast is dealing with having a balanced life. And I need you to hear y'all say it. Let me hear you say it. Let me hear you say it. Let me hear you say it. Say it out loud, please. Say valuable. Information applied equals success. Family. We are in the month of March. We are 3 months in, fam. Woo-wee. It is time for us to be getting the spring off into this new year like we've never sprung before. We want this to be absolutely our best year. Like we always want every year to be our best year. You know, that's the good thing about life. It can always get better. But the way we do it, it's going to be different. So in this episode, we're going to talk about the obstacles to you having your best life. The obstacles. And this is where those things in life, they just happen, man. There's no getting around it. They happen. But what is your mindset when it comes to when the obstacles come up? I heard a brother, I love listening to podcasts, and brother Marcus Rozier, he said this. He said, mind your business. Mind your business. M-I-N-D. And I love taking this idea. Is making M-I, intentional, N, necessary, D, decisions. Once again, that's M, making, I, intentional, N, necessary, D, decisions. Mind your business. If you're not where you want to be at in life, the question is, are you minding your business? Are you making intentional, necessary decisions for that thing to be better in your life? Break it down. Y'all know my areas. Are you making intentional, necessary decisions to spend more time with God? Intentional. It's necessary. I believe God gives life and life more abundantly. If I want to have a phenomenal life, I got to spend time with the life giver. He is life. I got to be making intentional, necessary decisions, spend time in word, praying, tithing, going to church, being around my brothers and sisters. All of that stuff is necessary. And I'm doing it intentionally to make good decisions so I can have the business of an awesome life that I want. Am I being intentional with the knowledge that I need for this new level I'm trying to go to? Family, obstacles can be, I don't have the information I need. That can be one of the many obstacles. I don't have the information that I need to go to this next level. Family, I don't want to do some of the stuff that I need to have done, but I got to do it. I got to do it. So I'm being intentional about doing that. I'm doing a little bit more investing, doing a little bit more of getting more information on where, society is at now when it comes to raising kids and the different, terminology the kids might be using that I can't keep going there talking about no jive turkey and shucking and jiving. They don't understand those words. So I got to be intentional about, let me learn some new words that the kids are saying today that I can help them live their best life just from putting what they learn and what they know into a vernacular that they can understand. So I have to be intentional. Are you being intentional about your health? Yes, indeed. We always talk about these 5 areas. What are you doing intentionally? And that's necessary for you to have the best life. Y'all know I'm big on my mushroom guy from Desert Alchemist. So I definitely, if you're in the Tucson area or go on the internet and look him up, because he will help you wonderfully with some of the mushroom tinctures that's going to help your life be better. Yes. So I have to be intentional about that. speaking from experience. Are you being intentional with your relationships? Man, it's one thing to hear about what you need to do. It's another thing to do what you need to do. So that's important. What are you doing intentionally to make sure your relationships are better? Are you really being intentional about spending more time with your loved ones? Give them the physical touch that they need, the quality time. Are you being intentional with that? Minding your business financially. Guess what? All of us want a little bit more change. Okay, a little bit more change. Now, what I want eventually is for you, before you leave this earth, to leave behind a legacy in all those areas. Spiritually, I want all my sons and daughters to have a closer relationship with God. I want them all to be using their gifts and talents that they've been blessed with. I want them all to be healthy, man. I don't want none of my kids to be sick and ailing unnecessarily. I want them to all to be in loving relationships where they're doing the loving, receiving the loving, whatever that is. I want to be in relationships that's going to prosper them and make them better. And guess what? I don't want to leave them broke. I want to leave them a little change when I leave about this earth. So what if life is good for me? I don't want to be selfish. Financially we're doing all right. Now I want to be making sure that my kids and grandkids have the stuff that they need so we can leave behind a great legacy. But I got to mind my business and watch out for these obstacles that might be trying to stop me from having my best life. Another obstacle that hinders a lot of people is life happens. If this happens, I'll do this. What happens when life happens, man? What happens when life happens? I grew up in Flint, Michigan, and I knew in my heart I didn't want to work for the auto industry, so I knew I had to get up out of there. Yeah, that's life happens. So I said I had to make a move. Life happens. My mom had to go into a nursing home, and she enjoys it. She loves it, man. She's thriving in that. But she had to make that decision. Life happens. My beautiful queen got 2 brain tumors. Life happened. I was working at a great job that I love, but I wasn't being treated the way I deserved to be treated. I wasn't being celebrated. I was being tolerated. Life happens. What changes are you going to make when those obstacles come up? You get to pick. I got laid off a job. I didn't do nothing bad. Just that they mismanaged the money. They didn't bring in the money the way they should have. Life happened. What are you going to do when that happens? I got COVID. I didn't plan on getting COVID. COVID happened. What do you plan on doing when life throws what it throws at you? Be prepared. Live your best life. How they always say is shoot for the best and prepare for the worst. Life happens. What are you going to do when it happens? Another obstacle is no motivation. Sometimes we still be having goals from when we was in our teen years. I can still remember my goals still to this day. I'm 56 years old. I wanted to be a DJ. I wanted to be a photographer. I wanted to be a bartender. I wanted to be an accountant. And I didn't end up becoming none of that. But guess what? If I was still trying to shoot for that in my 50s now, I wouldn't even have the motivation to do that. So what we got to do sometimes is there are some goals that we have to eliminate. There are some goals we got to eliminate in order for us to really be motivated to have the kind of life that we want to have. Another one of the obstacles that we have is we don't have no motivation. Why is that? Because that's not your goal. That's not your dream. That's not your vision anymore. Some goals we got to eliminate. So we got to go take an inventory of what are our goals and our dreams. And some of them we have to literally eliminate them in order to take that energy from that goal and dream that we used to have and apply it towards the goal and dream that we want to have now. Sometimes why we don't have no motivation is we're not celebrating the small victories. We're not celebrating the small wins. Sometimes we lose our motivation because we're looking at the bigger picture. The bigger thing is not happening. So we lose our motivation, and we have to make sure that we're celebrating the small wins, the small victories, whether that was meeting with some people that you needed to meet with, whether that's coming up with the logo for the business, whether that is getting in contact and partnering and networking with some people, whatever that thing may be, celebrate those small wins. I used to always physically fight people because I had an anger problem. And then I got to the point where I was just cussing them out. Oh, you'd be like, he grew. He didn't hit the person. He cussed him out, but he didn't hit him. Ooh, that was major growth. Now he don't even hit the people. He don't cuss them out no more. He just be thinking about cussing them out. See that? I was growing. See, sometimes that's a small win. You might be thinking like, oh my God, he thinking about cussing them out. Now I just be wishing blessings on him. Now I wish blessings on them. See the elevation from hitting people to cussing them out to just thinking about cussing them out to you want to wish the best on everybody, the best you can. When God says that if it's all possible, live at peace with everybody. Guess what? That used to be an obstacle, my anger. Now I had to finally celebrate the small wins of when I, got my anger to pull dial back. Now I just want the best for people. But it took levels, and it didn't seem like I was getting better, but it was levels that got better. So I'm super grateful for that. Another one of the things that's an obstacle for us is we got too many plans, y'all. We got too many things we trying to accomplish at one time. The beauty of living in the moment is you plan, put your plans down, but guess what? You're only attacking each plan in the moment. So right now, as we're on this podcast, I'm focused on doing the podcast. I'm not focused on, I got a teaching, I got a speaking engagement I got to do in April. I'm not focused on that. I'm not thinking about the one I got to do in February. I'm not thinking about we trying to transition to a different field. We're not thinking about none of that. I'm thinking about in this moment right now, recording this podcast. That's it. Still got the plan, still got the goals, still prioritizing, but you got to do one thing at a time. I can't be thinking about 4 and 5 things at a time. You can't multitask. We weren't designed to multitask. We're designed to do one thing at a time so we can give it our full attention so we can get the desired results that we want to get. But sometimes we overthink. We got too many plans going on. That's an obstacle if we're not careful. Another one of the obstacles that we have is we keep experiencing failure. We keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And we wonder why we're experiencing failure. It's because more than likely we are not learning from those failures. We're not learning from the failures. You've been in 4 relationships in 4 months. I ain't doing something right. I can't blame the 4 people that I was in a relationship with. I'm off. Okay, we got to focus in on what is the common denominator in these relationships. What makes me keep failing? I done tried to start 5 businesses and neither one of the businesses worked out. Okay, calm it down. Go back and see what the common denominator is in the failure of those businesses. Sometimes we just got to really say, you know what? I need to learn from this failure. It wasn't just a failure just to be a failure. There was a reason why I failed. So let me learn from the obstacle. Let me recommit to my goal. Let me fine tune it so that I can be successful at it this time, and don't let that same obstacle keep putting me down over and over again. And then last but not least, please get away from people that don't see your vision as big as you do. Please, 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 please. Before I wrote my book, I had my cousin. He wrote a book before I did, and we were the only 2 people in the family that I knew that had wrote a book. Okay. As of this podcast, before I started this podcast, there was no other people in my family that started the podcast. I didn't talk to other people in my family about podcasting because none of them had done it. I only talked to people that had started their podcast and they successfully were doing a podcast. You need to get around people that are not the obstacle, but they are your guide. They're your they look upon they're standing on top of the fort and they're looking over the fence. They're vision casters. They're helping you to go where you desire to go. Get away from people that talk bad about your goals. Please get away from them people. We don't want to be crabs in a barrel. We don't want no underlying criticism. We want people that have a plan to react and act to help us achieve our goals. Please get away from people that don't have the same vision as you. Now, we might be great family members, great friends, but when it comes to trying to achieve this thing that you're trying to achieve, these are people you don't want to talk to because they have absolutely no experience. They don't want to take risk. They just want to be comfortable and live life with just no challenges, no obstacles to have in their lives. They just want to live on cruise and you want to do bigger and better things all the time. So please do me a favor, get away from people. And as soon as I said some of y'all need to get away from these toxic people, you know exactly who it was you needed to get away from. They are not going to help your vision, your goals, your dreams, your desires of where you're trying to go. They are only going to hinder you because they are trying to speak on your goals, your vision, your passion from their puny point of view. They are like grasshoppers among giants. And when you see yourself like God sees you, oh my God, ooh, you gonna know God gave me the gift. God is blessing me to use the gift, and God is gonna open up the doors for the gift. I just have to keep using the gift. I have to keep sharpening the gift. That's our jobs. God gave you the gift. I can't take no credit for it. He gave me the gift to run my mouth. God is the one that keeps the gift giving by letting me stay alive and do what it is I'm gifted to do. And he's also the one that's going to open up the doors for me to go use my gift. All I got to do is keep on using the gift. Family, I love you. I want the best for you. Do me a favor. See what obstacles are in your way and work on getting those done. We don't want just to get the information. That's super valuable. We want to apply it so we can be successful and live our best lives. Love you guys. God bless. All right. What's up, family? It's your boy, John Bacon from the Bacon Bits Podcast. Thank you so much for your support, likes, and ratings. Please don't just listen, but rate me, follow me, and subscribe. This is an amazing way to offer free support. My beautiful queen and I have some books that we have written for your growth.
So the first book we have is a workbook, actually. It's called Healthy Relationships, and this is a workbook through the lens of faith. Because what makes a relationship healthy or unhealthy? So this workbook is designed, it's a 12-week, it's a biblically grounded course, and every week has a few different principles. So if some of our principles, some of our topics that we're covering are respect, cultivating security. And this is not just between a husband and wife. This is between parents, between siblings, between friends, between your bosses, employers. So it's really important, and everyone deserves a healthy relationship.
And also we have The Balanced Life by John Bacon. It covers how to be prosperous in your finances, relationships, your health, your mind, and your spirit. So you can pick that up on Amazon, also on audiobook. And we also have
The Unraveling, a creative healing journal, pinings, poems, prayers, and ponderings of my precarious life. I've had a testimony of I've had 2 brain tumors and 2 brain surgeries, and I'm super grateful, but I'm still grieving the process of healing. And this is part of the process. In this book, you have devotionals, you have prayers, and you have some ponderings. And in between these pages, there's a space for you to also be prompted to paint and to create your own, or maybe you want to write something in these books. This is part of your creative healing journal that we get to walk through together.
And you guys can just head over to Kingdom Servants First. Kingdom Servants, the number 1 st.com. And you can purchase all 3 of these books. Thank you for your support, your love, and your contributions. God bless.